So hi Muli, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome. So we've been
Great.
here for a couple of minutes sketching, trying to understand better how to work with Magma online so we can draw together. And we've uploaded Muli's drawing from last session. And here we are. Muli is actually drawing already.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about a weird, unnatural lighting at the moment. Like, what will cause this type of lighting? What type of scene? And just experimenting, nothing special.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, we actually the weather question um, coming from a guy named Netanel from Israel, Jerusalem, and he was asking um, how do we choose color, or how do we mix colors so it won't look childish, and it will look like it will have an impact and looks like serious and stuff like that. So I thought it would be cool if we yeah, we decided to actually paint Muli's drawing and just see what we can do with it. I see that Muli, you are what you're doing right now is like adding unusual colors, and I love it.
Yeah.
You're thinking about like the lighting, right? The color of the
Yes.
lighting.
Uh, I'm thinking about the lighting and the color shift, the hue shift between. Um, Try to figure out uh, like the simple statement. I stick to the simple statement, at least in the beginning in this drawing of cool light will produce a warm looking shadows, a warmer looking shadows. I must point out that there is a common mistake when as a young artist, we tend to think that okay, I have a warm color, and what's in shadow is cooler. So we tend to think that what's in the warm side is let's use the software's name. It's magma hot, and what's in the cooler side is like Antarctica cool. And I try to break that rule and to suggest something that is more closer to each other. For instance, if I have the color picker and I can see that if I sample this type of warm color and I want to paint in the shadows, so I will go, I will go cooler, but not that cool. I won't drag to the blues. I just take it a slightly cooler, and I can produce a cooler looking shadows, although I'm still on in the warm side. So I I have I have taken my distance, but not too much. I haven't walked too far away from the source.
I got you.
And that's it.
Okay. So we're going to paint you all in like those blues and violet that you've put in.
No, not necessarily. I'm just thinking about several ideas, like what will work out best, and I'm haven't decided anything yet. Actually, I could go with the default and put a sunlight on top, and then decide, because it's a human face, then maybe it's the best to think about it from the beginning. So I'm going to delete everything what I've done right now. Okay, so let's decide on a type of lighting. I think we will go with 6 a.m. 6 p.m. I mean, the golden hour, as it's called in the movies. It's sunset. It's a very warm sunset. So, what the colors that will produce by the sun will be a very bright, a very vibrant orange light, and as opposed to that, we will receive a slightly violet, desaturated shadows. So this will be the type of lighting that I plan to paint this beautiful face. Okay,
Tom Cruise face.
so I'm gonna take my. I don't want to paint over it. The only problem I have right now is that I'm painting on the lines, so I try to be careful with that.
Look, what you can do, you can put
Maybe.
your layer on overlay on a multiply, and then you'll be able to paint
Um,
underneath. Yeah, right, got it.
but now, because the layer is on multiply, then each layer. Okay, okay. I thought each layer will produce a darker looking. Uh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
It works.
it
Magical,
just blends.
magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, I want to step in to the darks. I want to paint the darks first, and then I will paint in the lights. So I'll start with the darkest area of the face, where like I want to map out where the light will hit, and what will happen. First and foremost, before I even decide on color, just want to map out what's in light and what's in shadow. It's a good idea. So I'll just take a random color and
If I understood correctly, your light will be orange and your shadow will be violet.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the color scheme. And now I'm shadow mapping, like I'm imagining the light is coming from this direction. This is the direction of the light. So the nose will block the light and all this part will be in shadow. So I'll put just that in shadow, and I have this form will be this way, and all of that will be in shadow. This will be in light, and this will be in shadow. Uh, Also in shadow. Uh, Also in shadow. Also in shadow. And I have it. Okay. So here's and maybe I'll add like the planes. This will face this direction, and no, everything will be in shadow. Okay, so I have a classic. It's not classic, but it's a very dramatic feeling of the separation, that all of this side is in shadows. And now let's dive in and really paint.
Want to add something? Wait.
So I'm
I
taking
take.
this warm, and I can start with, matte painting, just deciding on the local color of stuff inside. So all of that will be in light. This will be in light also, right?
Nice. Actually, for me, it's the first time. I never saw this like way of thinking. I know about mapping, but what I do when I map, I usually just map my values. Um, but thinking about adding color to it, like you're doing half of it, you're thinking, okay, here the light is going to hit, and all of these it's going to be in the shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Um,
That's awesome. I'm gonna color pick your colors, so maybe I can join in. Maybe I can help you out doing it quicker.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe. What do you think about what I'm doing on the ear? I was thinking maybe your ear will get some light from the backside.
Uh, Actually, the opposite. This will be um,
Maybe a
just cooler.
backlight. Maybe another color
Yeah,
to add a backlight.
exactly, exactly. It will be a reflected light
Let's put
because
a cold
uh,
light. What do you think about this color for a backlight? I'm thinking.
eh, we will we will get to that because we have to calculate even more. Actually, the color that we painted, like this purple color, is the reflected light of everything. Now we have to paint in the halftones because this is not exactly uh, the whole color of shadows. We have to figure out the where are the more darker areas of the face. Like you have more blood here, more blood here, more blood here, and here. Uh, of course, the lips are redder, and some in the throat area. In the ear is very
Red.
translucent.
Yeah, translucent.
Uh,
Yeah, it's because the ears like there you have like really thin skin there, right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And the light goes through it, so we can see like the
Exactly.
small veins. Like we can see the red of our blood is there.
Okay, now we have to um, decide about the aftertone. So we have that color as the main source of light,
Yeah.
and now we have to make that shift from here to here. And another thing we have to keep in mind that the shadows cannot be as light as the light itself, the light source. In other words, the darkest light is lighter than the lightest dark. For example,
The,
if I have that scale, then I have shadow and I have light. Now I have halftone and I have reflected light here.
which is brighter than the halftone.
No, this is actually
It's brighter.
Again, wait a minute. This is supposed to be
The opposite, right?
darker. Yeah. See?
Awesome.
Now we have that.
Yeah, because it's a reflected light. It's less strong. It makes sense.
Exactly. Maybe. Okay, we got the idea.
Yeah.
So this never can be lighter than the halftone itself, and that's the principle we have to keep in mind now.
So if I got it correct, your lightest light will be this one, and your darkest dark will be that one, right?
The
Or
point
how?
is that this we painted in the reflected light. Like I'm going now in a different
Ah,
direction. So
we've
now we
painted
have
we,
to
we've
decide.
painted those, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Now I understand. Now you're going to go in and add some light and shadow, actually, like some darker values, and let's see, let's see. I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious. Show me what you're going to do.
So now um, I'm going to take it to the more warmer side, and this will be the shadow itself. Um, let's see how it works together. The way I'm going to decide to figure out, it's not something that I have to decide, it's something that I have to figure out first is I sample the half tones and then I go darker and more saturated on the scale, and then I go to the cooler side through the violets and reds, and this is how I can actually and I have to make it contrasts because it's a very hot so light source, and in a very angular light source. So we do have to decide on where stuff will be. But now as I paint it in that way, a lot of things pops out to me. A lot of problems pops out to me right now, because to paint directly like I'm trying to do right now feels off. And why is that? Because we don't have local color to be affected on upon. Like these colors are just flat colors that could work as a graphic image, but I do not have local colors underneath which the colors will affect. So it looks like a cutout, piece of cutout. Each color that might be the correct color, the right color for the purpose, but it still looks like a little bit off. And what I mean by local color is that imagine that I have that face, and now that natural face without light and shadow, without colors, I will have this type of, like, this is the local color of my face. So if you want, now that we understand, let's keep this only the diagram in the air. Let's keep the diagram in the air, and now let's decide on local color. So I have this color for the face, and that will be much easier for you if you're a new painter, if you're struggling with colors. So it will be a great idea to decide first on your character, like who's your character, what's the type of face, how exposed he's to the sun, etc. So, and we talked about hair earlier, so we'll go just around that and paint it. Hair real quick. So now I have that, and now I have a color to go either side with. So before I continue, I just decide then where are the places that I have more blood area. So I have, as I said earlier, in the nose, in the cheeks, in the center there is a big muscle, and the lips itself are fuller or redder. So I'm just putting flat colors, nothing special. I can go wild with something like that. Still not light and shadow, only local color, local values, and you will see how amazing this turns in the end. So I have all that. We said that the ear is very translucent and very it actually all this outer side is very translucent. The part that attached to the skin is much more thicker, so the sun rays do not penetrate that tissue area, only here. So and I think we got, let's put some local colors. So this is the first stage when you paint comic books.
You've chosen, like, let me sum it up. You've chosen a local color.
Yeah,
Then you choose how to where you wanted to warm it up. You change a bit, just the color, not the value of it.
yeah,
Uh, and then you edit, like you use the soft brush and edit where you wanted it to be. For the cheeks and the forehead and the ear. And then on the lips you used like a sharper brush, and you took also like a bit different of a reddish, maybe a bit, I don't know if, it's not lighter or darker, right? It's just you just played with the HU of it, like with the
yeah, yeah. And I'm trying not to affect the value structure too much. Only what's in where only the, like I imagine it in an overcast day, a cloudy day where I do not have a contrast. So this is how I will look, the face that this person will have only with local value, local color. That's the first stage, and this gives us a head start. So now we can decide on the lighting. So I can really take the, I can, this is our scheme, our palette. Okay, so we have this, not exactly, this is our limited palette for now. So I can sample this light source, and I can really go bright, and I can start painting in the sunlight.
if
So
taken like a bit lighter color, and with orange.
yeah,
I want
yeah,
to show
and
everybody how it looks here.
everything that is facing that light will receive that. And of course there are some hue changes where places are more wet on the face.
It gets a bit darker, right? Looks like a bit
This
dark
is,
or shiny.
it's a bit that desaturated, so I got closer to the sun and a bit desaturated. And here as well, like I really want to make it glow.
That's Awesome, Muli.
Nothing special right now. Maybe it will bleed out into the this face. Um,
Let me
okay.
going to zoom in on it a bit.
And I wanna make bold statement. I don't want to get into too much detail at the moment. So I have all this half sphere of the face. This will be darker because it's slightly facing away from the light. And also here in the eyes we also have a higher concentration of blood. So I will manage that also. Now that I have the light, now I can go darker with more confidence because I know, okay, cooler looking shadows. I can just simply drag it to the cooler side, which is the violets, the reds, and everything, and just make it more saturated and darker. So this is slightly darker even.
Oh, we're going this dark.
Maybe even more.
This dark.
Even darker.
Oh, we're going all the way. No, there's still much darker to go. I think. Let's see.
Too much dark.
Really.
Now I'm, of course, it will be all affected. So I'm going all the way, and the nose will cast a shadow, and it will completely go this way. I have that which
I'm adjusting your hair, adding some shadow there.
thank you.
Just filling it up. Making it more softer.
Okay, so now we have the shadow area. Just using simple shapes, not something too complicated. Of course, the ear itself still in the darkest area. And I have to decide for a beautiful shape, but it's a little bit cartoonish, but you get the idea. But now we have the to another element which is missing, and that's the element of making it look like it's actually golden hour. So just let me tweak that little bit even further. So now what we have on the scene is the light source. We got highlights, we have halftones, but we need another element which is the reflected light. Let me just tweak it a little bit further. It's important to maintain healthy relationships of colors. So I have that. Okay, awesome. So now I have the shadows and the lights. Now it's time to the reflected light. So usually on a sunny day, the sky will be as bright as this. Something very close to this. but we are going to something that is more um, like it's sunset. So the sky will be even more blue. It will be even more deeper blue. So it will be cooler. And what I'm thinking about is imagine I got this formula in mind that imagine that before sunrise, the sky is not totally black, right? When you look at night up at the stars, you see a very dark blue. Even sometimes, if you look at grainy photos from the 70s, 80s film cameras, you will see that the sky is even purple. So
Mhm.
imagine that the sky can range from a very deep purple to a very bright blue. All this range, like I imagine that all this range is the range of the sky
Uh,
that I'm showing on the color wheel. All
uh,
that is the range of the sky. That the
uh,
darker is the darker is like the less light coming through, the darker and more cooler the sky will be. So it almost appears to be purple. And when the sunrise happens, so it warms the sky, and then gradually we're going from a cooler looking sky into a very warm sky. So look, it's interesting because the light won't warm the sky from this direction. Like the sky won't be red.
Muli,
Uh, yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Because I am logged in on my magma here, I can only see my wheel. I can't see
Ah.
your. Yeah.
Okay. So let's advance. Okay,
I
music and
tried like
advance.
to do what you were saying, so to show people, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's better if you just put the colors on so we can see. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So that will be
I
like
thought
the warmer sky.
yeah, that will be a warmer sky. This will be the sky of the sunset. So this is the color that I can now put in. Although, although I just want to put that. So this is will be my reflected light. I will see because the skin is warm and it's a relative. It's in relation. Like colors don't just pops. It's only in relation to one another. So, for instance, you can imagine that this is now. What color does this appear to you?
Uh, Yellowish.
Yes, it is yellowish. So
This one
you
is
can see that.
those are cooler, maybe bluish.
Yeah, but the point is when you have something that is very um very saturated or very high intensity, maybe this will be a better example. Look at this. I want you to look at this. Let's make it here. Imagine Wild West scene when everything is just hot. So we have rocks, we have trails, like everything is in this scene, and we can go darker. Now, if I want to put sky in, If I'll go to the blue and just painting blue, now it's just teared off reality. It doesn't fit. Although it's relaxing to the eyes, but it does not fit. So if I want to describe a very warm day and give it a natural look to the sky, what I can do, I can take the warm colors, I can sample this, I can sample this color of the sky and go to the green. I can go through the green because I'm trying to go to the sky. So I'm going to the green, but I'm desaturating the green. So this is the same value, the same hue, but not same saturation. And now, when I put this color in, it looks almost as it was blue, and that can work better if I can even do something like that. And this is color relationship. It acts like a blue, but it's actually green. So that's the state of mind that I am figuring out myself when I put those colors in the reflected light.
It's awesome. Yeah, you're toning down to the grays a bit. The color
Yeah,
that you choose.
exactly.
That's awesome. Looks already really good. Now, if I want to join in and like paint the teeth, what colors would you suggest?
The teeth will reflect. Okay, two things. One is that the teeth is inside the mouth. So first and foremost, the teeth will be darker than we usually think. How bright they are. Second most, the teeth are the teeth itself are coated in a material that is very reflective. So the the natural
Saliva. No.
what will happen is that they'll almost match themselves to the color of the sun, to the light source they're facing.
Mm.
It's not the teeth are actually to be the easiest part, and it's okay to insert shadows into the teeth. Like we're not supposed to be very sacred about them.
Nice. Then you're adding like some little highlights.
Maybe even that less brighter, more saturated, like less bright and more saturated. And I can just simplify.
That's awesome. It's all pretty much the. Oh no, it's not. But it's like it looks like you have like you've chosen the range of value that you're working on. You never go all the way to the whites and you never go all the way to the blacks.
To the white.
Yeah, I said the range of value that you go through. It's like
Ah,
you're not
yeah.
using the extremes. You're always using the what's in between.
Um, um, yeah. Sometimes we have to be careful about using the extremes. especially when we are outdoors. Like stuff appears to be very, very dark, which in reality it's just the light source coming into the eyes and makes our vision create that dark spots. So it's not that dark. It only appears that dark. So we have to be careful when we paint in a very extreme dark value when we are outside, because the reflected light and the light source itself, they're acting like crazy, right? You know that the light rays just bounces off everything and everywhere. It's a mess out there. In reality, what happens is the light source just smacking the light, and every color that it hits, it will just bounce
Reflected.
off.
Yeah.
And the sky, it's a war zone of light rays, I would say, out there. So it will hit the shirt, the shirt will reflect to this, and etc. etc.
Okay.
And I can even go even more extreme.
I was wondering if I wanted to paint your shirt right now, your shirt, and your shirt will be like, I don't know, yellow. What? How do you know which kind of yellow to pick? For example.
First, pick of the local color of the yellow you want.
Okay. It can be like a really saturated yellow.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Let's do it. Local color. Don't know why.
Let me delete the neck.
Okay. Reminds me some
Just when you decide on a very saturated color, um, imagine how it will be even in reality.
in reality it would be not saturated at all. It would be like really grayish. I think so.
Okay, so let's try with go. Let's imagine that this is a very um,
Saturday.
reflected
Vibrant.
surface. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so now you have the light source, which is orangey, and you can find the center between the two, like how the sun will affect that material.
How the sun will affect it? It's kind of absorbing. Oh no, if it's reflecting, it's yeah, it's bouncing off some light. So it will be brighter and orangerier, a bit orange and then brighter, something like that. No, yeah, this could be the light.
Imagine, I will put this color right here, so it will be easier. Imagine that this is your light source, and this is the color of the shirt. In between them, like the sun will pull towards him what everything it faces. So I imagine that this is all the light area and this will be the shadow area, right?
Yeah.
So everything in the light area that is affected by the sun,
Will go orangerier.
what will it will, yeah. So we have to go warmer, desaturate the material itself, the shirt. You have to desaturate the color. Not too much, because the sun has its own saturation power itself. Like the sun can actually color um, stuff around us. Like the sun can make a rock orange, and a rock is a solid gray.
Mm-hmm. So I can should add a bit more saturation, something like that.
Exactly.
Okay. So now we'll be like filling up here.
Because it's a very saturated, maybe you can make it go to extreme, like to the top right corner.
Right corner. This one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The lightest and most saturated kind of orangey.
Yeah. And forgot the photo. I remind you all that we are dealing with a shirt which is highly saturated. Thus, we got that vibrant color. And also, we are dealing in a scene that it is a sunset. So now we have to mix the two, like how that material, how that yellow will be under the sunset. So first, of course, we have to go cooler, but it's hard to take this very vibrant color into the cools. So it won't travel too much, and it will be something like that maybe. Let's see. Let's see
Oh
if it
wow, it doesn't
works.
travel a lot at all.
Maybe not too much. Maybe that. Uh, and it's in shadow, so we have to give it a contrast. It's a very vibrant. Maybe this will
Mm-hmm.
be the correct.
The middle color? No. The shadow?
Yeah, this.
Oh, so it didn't travel like almost at all. Just a little bit.
Yeah, because it's a very saturated, strong color of its own material. And to add a reflected light onto that, we would be very gray. Like yeah, that looks better. Now I'm going to add highlights.
I just realized that the shirt that you we were doing reminds me Morty's shirt from
What? What
from
type?
this yellowish shirt. It's like really the yellow that I think they're using in Rick and Morty. It's, it's Muli Morty. It's
Morning.
combination between between Tom Cruise, Muli, and Morty. I'm looking for a place like it will be only the color, the local value. looking awesome.
Yeah,
Muli.
and because it's a cast shadow, like the head is blocking all the light, so you can really go with a hard edge,
Okay.
like slice. You have to really slice that part. Yeah,
I'm going to add
exactly.
a little bit of form.
Yeah,
And then here maybe we're gonna add some more local value.
yeah.
I'm starting to get it.
And now you can take the shirt and really highlight it. You can put some, reflective surface. If
What?
it is a reflective,
Yeah, if it's a reflective shirt, it will have maybe more orangey. No.
something like that.
For reflection?
Not reflection, but highlights to the shirt itself.
Okay. Are you thinking about something like that? But let's try yours. Oh yeah, it looks good. Let's try the other one. Yeah, looks off. Nice.
Hmm.
Oh, it's almost the same color, just desaturated. It's awesome. Okay, I can add it to everywhere now, just to the shirt because it's closer to the shirt's value. Um, I'm curious what would happen if I add some more light here. Nice. Wanted to add some contrast in the shirt. I have this reflex when something starts looking good. I press Control S. I want to save it because my other computer
Yeah.
just freeze all the time, and I lost so many drawings like that
Hmm.
that I
Yeah,
just like
do that.
I don't think about it. Just my fingers goes Control S, Control S.
Huh.
Oh, I need to add some. I would like to add some colors to your eyes.
Okay.
Let's do the eyes.
So, so in the eye, first we have to shadow what happens naturally, like on local color. So this will be in shadow, and this will be in shadow.
Hmm. From the upper lid of the eye,
Yeah,
casting a shadow
and
inside. Yeah.
a soft gradation between to make it a round. And now we can actually reflect back, so it will be
Nice.
like that. And the iris itself, the pupil, sorry, the pupil will be dark, but it actually brightens it up and we will make him have green eyes. So the green will be affected by the sun and it will go towards the grays, and I will have this eye color in sun.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, now we need to just add the reflected lights, right?
Yeah, I already the reflected light on the eye.
Yeah. Like the highlight.
Yeah, the highlight. Ah,
Yeah. Awesome. The teeth. The teeth. Like really the teeth. The teeth are wet or like shiny wet.
mm,
Very nice. I think we spoke about the main like ideas. It was actually awesome seeing you filling up the colors here and talk about the colors theories and showing how you think. At the beginning, you've shown us how you were like thinking about temperatures and how do you divide. We all started up. We just want to remind everybody with the two colors, two main colors at the beginning. Muli explained how we split the face up into two parts. You're thinking about where the light is coming from, and this is how he's dividing the face. And then he just erased it all and show us how we use it like in a more simple way, because he added he changed the colors a bit, not moving the values too much. And then what he's done, he started a new painting, like a new coloring session, and he's done he put some local color first in, like we'll call it the children's love to call it like the skin color. So you like choose which skin color you would like to have, put that in, and then you started to pull from these colors toward more orangey in the light part and more violet in the darkest parts. And every time that you've done that, you've went down also with the saturation of the color. So we know that our lights and shadows are way less saturated. This is something actually new to me. We used to use like really saturated shadows all the time in my colors. And I now see that yours are less, and it's like it looks awesome. It's really nice to the eye. I love how you're playing around with forms now. And you're making the forms like more like sculpting with color right now.
yeah, and that's the most wet areas of the surface of the face, and we're actually done here. Like each stuff that we each thing that we add is just Like I can finish the painting here. I don't need to continue. It works. It already works.
Yeah, for sure. Looks awesome. Looks really good.
That's it.
I think we've got your new profile picture. Oh, the hair. We didn't talk about the hair. It's okay.
The hair, because it's a very very dark and dense material, so I won't see too much, but I can see almost the effect, like something like that.
hmm Just put it in the
That
same way as we've done like the face and the shirt and everything.
yeah
We've pulled it
yeah
towards the orange. We had the local value, like the local color and value of the hair, and we're pulling it toward the orangey light. And we can use it. We can use also right the violets for to do it more like dark, right?
yeah.
hmm Cool, brother. It looks awesome. It was our second session. Usually we're going to do our lives in the evening, but today we can't, so we just recorded this one for you guys. And I
Yeah.
hope to see comments if we have any more like questions, like Nathaniel did. I'd be more than glad to collect all your questions and so we can talk about it here in our Draw Talk Muli and Josh show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Josh, for having me.
Thank you, Muli,
See
for
you.
being here.
See you next time.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.